So if you're driving along the road, you may well notice a warning light on your dashboard, or your tyre pressure monitoring system might send you a message telling you that you're losing pressure, or you might have run over something and noticed that the steering feels a little bit different because you may well have picked up a puncture. The thing to remember in all of these situations is not to panic. Usually if you get a puncture, you'll have enough time to think about your situation and assess where you can stop safely. If you're on a motorway, that may be that you could travel to the next junction and find somewhere safe to stop. On a dual carriageway like this, it might be that there is a hard shoulder or a lay-by that you can safely stop in. And in that case, you should pull into the lay-by, find a nice, safe, flat spot, get out the car and assess the situation and decide whether you think you could change the wheel yourself. So once you've reached the lay-by, we just need to make sure that we are going to be safe wherever we are. We've got a physical barrier between us and the moving traffic, and I can also see really clearly that if any traffic is going to come into the lay-by, but there's everything here that we need. Nice space, nice and flat. I think this is a perfect place to change the wheel. But before we get down to the business of actually changing the wheel, we need to check out the equipment that the vehicle has. So a vehicle of this age may come with a scissor jack like this. Now this is typical of a vehicle 10, 15 years old, and these jacks do degrade over time. So you may remember we did a controlled experiment with Louise where she used a jack that was 10, 15 years old and it had degraded over time and it failed.
Oh, like that? There's a jack that's underneath is that old that the weight of the car has bent the actual rod and the carvers fell down. Imagine if you was underneath that.
So an alternative to the scissor jack is a bottle jack like this. It's small, it's compact and it's relatively cheap. You just need to make sure that you've got the right jack for your vehicle. Before you put your bottle jack under the vehicle and start jacking it up safely, make sure that you know where you should put it. There is lots of places under the vehicle it could go, but it's only by looking in the owner's manual you'll know the safest place. This is to prevent damage to the vehicle and making sure that it's safely supported. So now we've got the jack in position, what we need to do before we raise it is to crack off the wheel nuts, make sure it's in gear and that we've got the handbrake on. You just need to loosen the wheel nuts. It's much easier to do this when the wheel is still in contact with the road. Also, wheel braces come in all shapes and sizes, so make sure you have the correct wheel brace for the wheels on your vehicle. Now we've cracked the wheel nuts off, what we're going to do is take the bottle jack up so we can take the weight off of the wheel and take the rest of the wheel nuts off and remove the wheel from the vehicle. This one's come off nice and easily, but sometimes, especially if you've got an alloy wheel, they get a little bit stuck. So you might need to give them a bit of a bash on the top or on the sides to make them come off a little bit easier. So replacing the wheel is exactly the same process, but just in reverse. All you need to do is make sure that there's some air in the new tyre before you put it on, offer it up, and then as soon as you've got it in place, hold it, make sure it's square, and then add a wheel bolt to secure it. Do the first one up with your fingers and make sure that holds it on before you move to the one opposite to secure it. Put them in and then the final two, and do them up with your hands as much as you can first. So once you've done that finger tight, use your socket and just tighten them up the next stage, and then if everything is clear under the wheel, nothing in the way, you can then carefully lower our bottle jack. So once you have lowered your bottle jack and the weight is now fully on the wheel, you need to tighten the wheels. Now we don't have a torque wrench, so we don't know exactly how tight to do them. We just need to make sure that they're secure enough until we can get to a garage to have them rechecked for us. So we do it opposite. Remember, turn to the right to make it tight, and we tighten all of them a little bit more. Just working our way around the 4, or you might have 5 on your wheel. And just keep tightening them as much as you can. So once you tighten the wheel and you can complete your journey, I would recommend you go to a tyre centre to have your wheel bolts checked to make sure they're set to the correct torque. Final job is to put the wheel trim on, we line up the tyre valves, give it a quick tap, job done.